Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Crimes with your host, Michelle Sutton. So, just so we are all clear, I am going to turn my camera off, seeing as how I just had a shower and just ate dinner. So, I'm not going to be on camera, but the rumors that are going around that I've heard today, y'all can see me, okay? So, I do want to preface this with a trigger warning. I need to make my banner. And I need to also send Kristen the link because Kristen is going to join us because this is a little heavy. So there is a trigger warning coming with this. Let me send Kristen the link. That way she can talk us through the tough subjects. I got to make a new banner. Hold on. Tonight's episode will have some moments that may please discretion. I can't even type. Guys, I'm just typing this up. All right. Go ahead, you guys. Hit the like. And there's the banner. If it's mistyped, oh well. I did have a typo in my thumbnail. I apologize. I was trying to do things in the car. So, all right, you guys, please like, share, comment. Let's fight the algorithm. As soon as Kristen gets here, we are going to talk about it. Let me go ahead and get this pulled up. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. Oh, man. Shoot. I took it down. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. I messed up. Now I got to go back in here and open this back up. I closed it out, and I didn't need to. Hello. Yeah, you guys pray for Lisa in her area. They're getting hit with really bad storms. All right, we're going to share the screen. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. So, in the press conference earlier today, we watched it. We discussed what few minutes I had. We discussed, that this has now been taken to Superior Court. They voted on it. It will be an interesting court case, that is for sure. I can honestly say that I don't know, but I highly doubt from the way that this DA was speaking today that there will be a change of location for this case. Hey, Miss Gloria, I personally don't see it. I know that others feel like that's what they need to do. They need to try to get it. They need to fight to try to get it moved. I do not think that they would move this case. I don't think that anyone in Savannah wants that to happen. No, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Kristen?
I think they're going to do everything in their power to keep it there. This DA's office really would like this to stay here. You get the feeling for some DA's offices when you look at different cases that they could care if it goes to a different jurisdiction. I don't think that's the case with this one.
Yeah, I don't think so. Also, before we get into these documents, these indictments, I do want to say, in regards to Billy Joe's case, you can run with any scenario you want to run with that. You can believe anything you want to believe with that. However, the DA herself, if you watch today's press conference, she made it very clear that those charges are not listed. Those charges will not be listed. She will not speak about it, that is an investigation, which is what we said the other night. We said that, there's no charges yet. The charges are coming. It's still under investigation. It's still under investigation. So if you think she's going to get out in 10 days, okay, she's going to get out in 10 days. I don't know. If you believe it was contempt of court, you believe it was contempt of court. However, I'm going to wait and get the truth. So that's where I sit on that.
Right now they are saying it's contempt of court for her, violation of gag orders. But however, her family members who have spoken on said other channels of friends of theirs, YouTube friends of theirs, has said that she's getting out in 10 days. So we will have to see if at the end of 10 days that is true, or if there's some other continuance of that legal matter.
Well, she was going to get out yesterday. Remember, she was going to get out yesterday. They had court yesterday, but they really didn't.
But they didn't. That was wishful thinking, I guess.
So, vet your sources is all we're saying. Mm-hmm. Or all I'm saying. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, Kristen.
No, you're not putting it in my mouth.
He gets the best results. More facts come to light. Exactly. And that is what we have sat here and done. And that is why we wanted to literally sit down and go through this 8 pages that was put out by the DA. She told us where we could find it. Kristen did the homework. Kristen.
I've had access to this database for a while. I've just been waiting for something to report to you guys because everything else was just formalities. So
yeah. So
I have access to it for a while until we figure out after this indictment when things get set and what they're going to do. So.
All right. Again, there is a trigger warning with this. I do have the banner up. This is, listen at your own discretion, because there are some things that may come up in these papers that are triggering for some. So, all right, you have your indictment.
And I will say as a disclaimer, after I read them, I went and got my own margarita because I needed to calm down. So those that think that I don't feel something for these cases when I have a calm demeanor, I just take that moment to get mad and then I come back to the calm demeanor. So I've had my margarita and I'm good. So we can read this and we can process this.
I haven't read it yet. So you guys are
Okay.
getting, I mean,
So,
I've gotten
yeah.
like bits and pieces, but that's it. All right.
So when you're reading it, deep breaths. If you want me to take over, I have it pulled up in front of me. For the people that are visually challenged like me, I have it so I could take over reading if you need me
I'm
to.
not even on the StreamYard page. So comments, you guys, I will come back to those. I can't comment. I can read them right now.
And if this case bothers you or outrages you, but if you're a mod and this case, this is a little bit too much information that's triggering for you, but you still want to help Michelle, just go ahead and mute what she's saying, and you can still follow the chat and help out that way.
Yeah, that too. Okay, so we have our indictment number listed at the top. It is in the Superior Court of Chatham County, State of Georgia, December term 2022. The State of Georgia versus Leilani Marie Simon. Witnesses Marion Lemons, Chatham County Police Department. Shalina Cook Jones is the District Attorney, Eastern Judicial Circuit of Georgia. And Tim Dean is the District Attorney. The foreperson has signed it today, December 14th. It is a true bill. The offenses are malice murder, felony murder, 2 counts, concealing the death of another, false report of a crime, and making a false statement. 14 counts of that. Okay. And then there's signatures.
And normally with these grand jurors, I would say for us not to see their names, but it's already out there, so we're not.
Yeah, So the State of Georgia, County of Chatham, County of Chatham, and the Superior Court of said county, the grand jurors selected, chosen, and sworn for the County of Chatham to wit. And then they said that it was a count of 19 agreed. So I'm guessing the ones marked out were the ones that did not. Don't go messing with these people. I'm not trying to, that's not what I'm saying at all. I don't know why they listed them publicly, why that wasn't redacted. I wished I would have redacted it. But anyways. All right. Murder, the first count, the first charge is murder and concealing the death of another. Count 1, malice murder. In the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of malice murder for the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or before the 5th day of October 2022 did unlawfully with malice aforethought cause the death of her son Quinton Simon, a human being in a manner unknown to the grand jury at this time, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Count 2 is felony murder, and the jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of felony murder. For that, the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 5th day of October 2022 did commit the offense of aggravated assault in violation of OCGA. Let me just grab my glasses right here, you guys, so I'll quit stumbling over my own words. 16-521, a felony in that the accused did make an assault upon the person of her son, Quinton Simon, with an object that when used offensively against a person did result in serious bodily injury, the nature of the object being unknown to the grand jury at this time, and the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quinton's death, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So I want to stop there.
Okay, so what that count 2 means for y'all.
Stop screaming that. I don't want that on my screen.
Yeah. So what count 2 and all that fancy wording means for y'all is that, and there's going to be some question marks in this one, but they found it to be true. Basically, she used some sort of object, still unknown, that will hopefully be divulged in a trial. to find out what that object was, but it was serious enough to cause great serious bodily injury and or death. So it appears that I've seen it. It could be a piece of wood. It could be it could be anything. It could something serious enough that causes a blunt force trauma. And especially to a little one that size, doesn't take a whole lot. I've seen other things on here, so I caution you. They'll say, "Oh, he was beaten. He was severely beaten." We don't know that. We don't know how much, how little. We don't know, but we know it was enough that it caused his death. So it is blunt force trauma with an object unknown still, but hopefully it will be divulged in trial.
Yep. All right. Moving along. Count 3 is felony murder. So she's got 2 counts of felony murder. And the jurors aforesaid, in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of felony murder. For that, the day said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or before or about the 5th day of October 2022 did commit the offense of cruelty to a child in the first degree in violation of OCGA 16570, in that the accused did maliciously cause her son Quinton Simon, a human being and a child under the age of 18 years, cruel and excessive physical pain in a manner unknown to the grand jury at this time, and the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quinton's death, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof.
Okay, so basically, and as you go through these, Michelle and chat, you'll notice that it will seem a little bit repetitive, but there'll be just something, a tweak in the wording that makes that an additional charge. They want anything and everything. That is why there are 19 charges. They want to make sure something sticks here. So that is why if something seems super repetitive or just that one thing off, that is why they're doing that. So I'm just going to say that outright because you'll see that come through. So this is offensive cruelty to a child in the first degree. So that she maliciously caused this upon Quinton, a human being, a child under 18 years of age. So what it doesn't say here in the verbiage, but it will be said, you might see it in the news in the future or through the trial. You hear it on TV shows, tender age child. So, tender age child, definitely under the age of 18, but specifically under the age of 0 to 3 years. So, hold on, my computer shut down on me. That is what they're doing there. So it's cruel and excessive physical pain in a manner unknown to the grand jury at this time. Again, the accused did do something that was egregious, that causes physical pain, this blunt force trauma. That was enough that it caused the child's injuries to result in death. So basically, they're just saying that is what it is. It's just still unknown what that manner of death, that object was that she chose in that moment to perpetrate this upon the child. So there's that one.
I am going to. Okay, this is my thoughts alone. I see some of the comments. Like, I wonder how they decided on blunt force trauma. Wonder too if that was in text with Billy Joe. I think that when I read what I've read so far, without going any further into the indictment, what I've read so far, I said this like from the beginning, the thoughts that of seeing that luminol testing that day,
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of like solidified it for me today, reading, like just now reading what we just read, hearing what they said in that press conference. Like they'd had the evidence. Like they were adamant from the beginning that it was Leilani.
They were just hoping for,
and we also
some,
have to look.
some recovery of the body or remains.
We don't know.
Materials.
We still don't know what remains they found. We don't know if they were able to find, the skull, which would be an automatic, be able to tell. This was not an accident. This was not an accidental drowning. There's nothing to do with the bathtub.
Yes, Keith, it probably had skull fractures, in my opinion. If they did obtain any portion of the skull, as Princess Forensic says, that's the golden ticket. You're looking for the skull. You can, even though with advanced decomposition, you can still show some of that blunt force trauma. But we don't know that yet, so we still are in that gray area to know that, but we're leaning that way. But also blunt force trauma could mean, and then these are some of the cases I've had. It's trauma to the abdomen, trauma to the spleen, trauma to the liver, that is so forceful that the subject bleeds out. So it's not necessarily, it could be blunt force trauma to the chest too. So skull is more of the cases that we saw in CPS, but it can be to the chest and abdominal area as well. But yes, the luminol should be a huge indicator of what they thought from the beginning and what they found.
What did I miss? Ellen, what did you do?
I don't know. Maybe she gifted something. I don't know. Yeah, movies, that would be awesome if there was the tool marks on the skull that would be able to extract the exact weapon used. That would be another golden egg to find, but we have to really figure out what Quantico has.
I can't see that on the screen. Thank you, Ellen. Yes, they can no longer say that this was I really appreciate that, Ellen. You didn't have to do that. This is why I was so adamant about being careful of the rumors and what you hear and running with the stories that you hear, especially in a situation where that person is in it for the wrong reason, I guess would be the best way to say that. Because they had to know the truth was going to come out. Like, there's no way with a case like this that the truth wouldn't have come out.
Right. And we'll see that unfold probably pretty nicely based on this indictment. And they're very thorough. And I told Michelle when I looked up the DA's office and who was there and their credentials, they're going to go for it, and you guys can scoot on over from here when we're done and you can go listen to Cher because they've got a whole different take on it. It's still the whole Danny Leilani thing, and there's no more blaming things. There's no accidents. This is as clear as day, except that we just don't have the manner itself of the blunt force trauma that caused the death of this child. So they can flower it up and put lipstick on a pig. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the findings here. So this right here should tell you guys, as clear as this is, what's coming down the pike from Quantico. So if this reaches trial,
guess is they can't give but so much in this. Like, correct. This is literally just them taking it to the Supreme Court without placing the evidence in front of them. Just, a shorthand of what will be presented. So in my opinion,
correct,
they have the whatever was used to do this.
This was enough to get the grand jury to indict them. That's all they needed. The next card they play, I'd be fearful if I were somebody involved in this, because that indictment was clear enough and 19 counts. They've got enough to go for the next card that they're going to play. So this was just enough to get the grand jury to indict.
Yeah. So let's go on to the next charge, which is count number 4 is concealing the death of another, OCGA 161031. And the jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of concealing death of another. For that, the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or before the 5th day of October 2022, did unlawfully conceal the death of her son, Quinton Simon, by discarding him in a dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, which hindered the discovery of whether Quinton was unlawfully killed contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So we'll stop there because this was also a rumor that turns out that this one was the truth. Like, the rumor was that she was caught on camera at this particular dumpster. Don't know who started the rumor, but somebody told somebody and it got all the way over here. And it turns out that one happens to be the truth. So, they can't deny that part now. I mean, they can try.
No, they can try. They can give it a good old shot, but yeah, it's what's on camera is on camera. That they can't deny that, and they've had that from the get-go as well. They just needed to keep that close to the vest. So,
falsehoods.
Oh, this should be fun.
Yeah. Well, on October 5th of 2022, count number 5, false report of a crime, OCGA 161026, and the jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of false report of a crime. For that, the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 5th day of October 2022 did willfully and knowingly give a false report of a crime to the Chatham County Police Department, a law enforcement agency of this state, by implying that Quinton Simon had been abducted by an unknown intruder, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Okay.
Movies, yes. Movies, yes, correct. She did go to the dumpster. There's video of it. Okay, so this is count 5.
Yep, and it's in the indictment.
Okay, so this section is what I call the liar, liar, pants on fire. You've been caught section. And nice try, but we're going to go and throw everything at you that you lied about. So this is, be prepared. These are a lot of false statements that she made. So basically, yes,
So we're going to find more lies.
Correct. This is what she said was the child's father came in and abducted
an unknown intruder.
But then she said it was Bubba Moss.
Well, yeah. So the false report was him being kidnapped, abducted by an unknown intruder. That was the very first of these lies, was that she called in and said that he'd been kidnapped. Count number 6, making a false statement, OCGA 161020, and the jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of making a false statement. For that, the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 5th day of October 2022 did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department and Bradford Snyder of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So, you guys, she's lying to the detective and she's lying to the FBI agent. Law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of the official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by having admitted that she had left her home in the late night hours of October 4th, 2022, to meet her drug dealer, falsely stating that the purpose of this meeting was to pay an existing drug debt, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof.
Okay. So here, basically, yes, she was saying she left late at night. I don't know if everybody was around when we first started this, and I said, my hunch is that something happened between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That is a typical time period where parents that are frazzled, parents that are under the influence of something, could be both, they snap. So a lot of cases that I would see, something drastically would happen to a minor in that time period. This appears to be the case in this one as well. So the night before, late at night, she went to go to meet her drug dealer to pay a debt. Why she didn't do it. So what was she doing late at night and into the early morning of October 4th to the 5th? She left the house to do something. They know that. They can track her. They can track her with the pings of her phone. They know what she was doing, you guys. She was not going to see a drug dealer, and she certainly was not paying off her debt. She might have a debt, but she wasn't doing it.
Okay. So the pings, the cameras, and the juror, count number 7, making another false statement, OCGA 161020, and the jurors aforesaid in the name of, on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of making a false statement. For that, the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 5th day of October 2022 did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department and Bradford Snyder of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of the official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by falsely stating that the only controlled substance of which she was a regular user was marijuana, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So, that one, I'm going to say she could, her attorney could drop that because the only lie that she told there was that she only uses marijuana. Obviously, there's something more in her tox screen.
Unless she submitted to a hair or urine toxicology test, then they can prove there's something other than THC in her system.
Right, and I'm sure that they have toxicology report, and unfortunately, you guys, we won't know until court what was in her system. But I'm saying that's an easier lie to try to fight. So.
Yeah. I mean, I have a suspicion what she was using, but that's just my suspicion. Melmac, yeah, she did live in the Exalia trailer park, I do believe, at some point in time, or stayed there at some point in time that's really close to the home. You're correct. Why isn't Danny in jail? Movies?
Because it doesn't appear that he had anything to do with it.
It didn't, and he could be a state's witness. He could be cooperating with them, but it also could appear that he just didn't. Although he had a lot of information, he didn't actually do what is shown to be happening here. So my guess is he's fully cooperating with the authorities. So,
which I've said from the beginning, that I didn't think he was involved in this part.
Although what's interesting is he said that he saw this child at 6 a.m. in the pack and play. And I've always said I didn't think the child was there. I thought it was like a bunch of blankets or something to make it look like in the dark when he's leaving early morning that the child was sleeping in the pack and play. And it could be as innocent as that. So.
All right.
Talking to Cher is like talking to a baby possum. Oh, Lisa.
Her show last night was very, very, very interesting. If you did not watch it, she was something.
I watched part of it, but I got bored with it. So I guess I should have stayed afloat with that. Okay.
All right. Count number 8. Making a false statement. And the jurors aforesaid, in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charged and accused Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of making a false statement. For that, they said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 5th day of October 2022 did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department and Bradford Snyder of the FBI, law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of their official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of Chatham County, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by falsely stating that the only controlled substance she had used in the past 24 hours was marijuana, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So, yeah, they have a toxicology report. We're going to leave it at that.
They spelled that out for you guys. So without saying it, they just basically said she's lied because they have something to prove otherwise. So.
All right,
it's not just a little bit of THC, folks.
No. The wording is the same over and over. So I'm going to just go straight to the law that she says, okay?
Yep.
So a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by having admitted that she had left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, falsely stating that the purpose of this trip was to meet her friend Misty to obtain Orgel, a topical pain reliever from Misty, and that on this trip, the accused had in fact met Misty at a Chevron service station and had obtained Orgel from her, contrary to the laws of the state. So it went from being a drug dealer to going to meet her friend to pick up some Orgel at the gas station.
Yes. Because if we remember, she wanted everybody to believe she was in pain from her tooth. And that's why she slept through things at the early morning hours, even though Danny was trying to shake her and wake her up. She had teeth pain because she had some teeth work done. Which she could have had, but we don't have any proof of that.
All right. Count number 10, making another false statement. We're going to discharge of the official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction. Okay. A department of the government of this county to investigate a material fact, to wit, that in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, she had in fact traveled to Isaiah Mobile Home Plaza and there had discarded her son, Quinton Simon, in a dumpster. Wait, what? She did it. Wait.
Contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, good order, peace, dignity thereof.
Where's the false statement, though? The disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government to investigate a material fact. That in the early mornings, I don't see the false statement.
They could have.
Are they saying she said that she had in fact traveled?
Yes.
So she admitted.
Yes, but they could be saying that it was actually the late evening hours of October 4th, 2022 that she in fact went there, not early morning. They basically, it could be what they have on film and a time stamp date of what's going on and where she went to the dumpster on that date. So that one's a little blurry because I think that what they're not telling you is that they have some footage or some things that put her there at a different, within hours that could be difference of the date and time.
All right. And the juror, so, all right, maybe the more we read, the more.
Yeah, so you got Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire of October 8th. So this is the next time they interviewed her. So they wait 3 days to see if her story has changed. So here you go to the next section.
All right, we got different people.
Murphy's saying it's saying that she concealed from them that she dumped his body. But yeah, that's true.
So the county of Chatham and the state of Georgia on about the 8th day of October 2022 did knowingly, unwillfully make a false statement to Bridget Brock at the federal FBI office or investigation. Sorry. A law enforcement officer engaged in the lawful discharge of her official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by having admitted that she had left her home to meet her drug dealer in the late night hours of October 4th, 2022, falsely stating that the purpose of this meeting was to pay an existing drug debt. She is stuck on this drug debt, ain't she?
Well, it's a believable story for some. So yeah, she went with it. See how, again, remember, throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. That's what she's going for. And she's able to cry on cue, but without tears. So she's just trying to see what they believe.
So she left out that part is what they're saying, because she willfully concealed from the FBI agent a matter to investigate a material fact that on the night of October 4th, 2022, she had used controlled substances contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof.
So
then it's talking, number 13 is where they, I guess, caught her in her lie about the friend.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing where they caught her in her lie, concealed the fact that she had went to Azalea.
Because it moved from Misty at the Chevron station to Misty at the Azalea Mobile Home Park Plaza. So you got to follow the trail of where's Misty now?
Yeah, she went to the Chevron. Now she's at Azalea. That's where she.
Yeah, I must have gone to. Well, I guess I got that wrong. I went instead of going to see Misty at Chevron, I went to the Azalea Park. If you're saying that I was at the Azalea Park, that's probably why I went to go see Misty there. That's kind of her segue into that. Is like, oops, my bad. I wasn't at the Chevron with Misty.
That on this trip, the accused had in fact met Misty at Azalea Mobile Home Park and had obtained Orgel from her contrary to laws. So now she's saying that that's why she was there. So we don't even know if she really met Misty or not.
Oh, I think it's showing it at the end of it here. So keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There is no Misty. Yeah.
Now we have Bradford Snyder and Savannah Solomon on the 12th day of October, you guys. So she just changed her story every 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Every 3 or 4 days. Okay. A department of the government of this county to investigate by having admitted that she had discarded something in a dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, falsely stating that all she had discarded was normal household garbage.
So essentially, folks, she's saying that equates to Quinton. That's all she threw away in there was just normal household garbage. That is how much that this child really meant. This count got me fuming. To just continually just say, I was just there to throw out garbage. Why couldn't you it was garbage day at your own house. You couldn't even throw that out in front of your house. but you had to throw normal household garbage at the mobile home park. No, ma'am. Disgraceful. Yes,
right.
Keith. She was all over the place. Law enforcement was giving her time to trip up on her own self. She's not that bright.
On the 12th day of October 2022, Leilani did knowingly and willfully conceal from Bradford Snyder and Savannah Solomon of the FBI investigation law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of the official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate a material fact to which that in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, at Azalea Mobile Home Park, she had discarded her son, Quinton Simon, in a dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we go. And the jurors aforesaid, in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of making a false statement for that the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and the state of Georgia on or about the 31st day of October 2022 did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department, Savannah Solomon, and Bradford Snyder of the Federal Bureau of Investigation law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of their official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by falsely stating that it was not the accused, but rather Daniel Youngkin, who had traveled away from the home in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So, I'm going to give my opinion. Kristen, you can give yours. We've had lots of questions about Danny. And Danny being the one in the vehicle, Danny making the text messages, whatnot. I'm going to say, go out on a limb here, and Danny was really asleep and was not aware this happened. Because she claims that even though she's seen on camera, it wasn't her, it's Danny. But she done changed her story. She went and met her. She did go out in the middle of the night. She went to go meet her drug dealer. Then she went out to go meet her friend Misty. And now she didn't go out. At the end of the month, she didn't go out. This is October 31st. She didn't go out. Danny went out.
Yeah, and then she went out to throw away some household garbage too.
But she said that on the 12th. That was on the 12th that she said she threw out the household garbage. And now she's saying she never left. Danny did.
Correct.
Okay. Now, on November 21st, this is recently, you guys. Well, this is count number 19. And the jurors aforesaid, in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of making a false statement for that the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham and state of Georgia on or about the 21st day of November 2022 did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department and Savannah Solomon of the FBI, law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of their official duties investigating the disappearance of Quinton Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by having once again admitted that she, not Daniel Youngkin. Now, on October 31st, she said it was Danny. Now, November 21st, she's changed it back that it was her, not Danny Youngkin, had left the home in the early morning hours of October 5th and traveled to Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, and having admitted that she had no contact there with her friend Misty, falsely stating that she did not remember what she had done there, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So she did meet her friend Misty. So the question is, who is Misty? Where is Misty?
Well,
Did
Misty
she
will
see
be
it?
Misty will be a star of the trial. I can tell you that much if she's real. if that's not an alias for her. I mean, we're not getting her real name because it's quote unquote Misty. That just could be the alias they're giving her right now, though, to protect her until the trial happens.
I read this one of two ways. She didn't meet Misty. She's just claiming that she did, or she really did, and it's on camera that she did, and she is saying that she had no contact with her friend. So it's saying that the lie is she had traveled to the Azalea Mobile Home Park and haven't admitted that she had had no contact there with her friend Misty. So which is the lie? She had contact, but she said she didn't. If she did, in fact, meet Misty there and had contact with her,
she falsely stated. So she basically, the lie is before she said that she met Misty. Now she's admitted she did not meet Misty.
Well,
before she was saying it was Danny. Now she's saying, I admit it's not Danny, and I admit that I was not going there to meet Misty. So that is where the falsehood, what they're showing you the falsehood is, they're spelling it out for you from the progression from the ones prior to where she was blaming Danny. Her alibi was Misty. Now she's admitting neither one of those are true.
Well, she don't remember nothing. Remember?
She don't remember anything, but now she's starting to remember. It's funny how those things happen to you, especially when you're in solitary. Some of those things come back to you.
Wait, isn't November 21st? Like, when was she arrested? Shoot, what day was it? I don't have my time down here.
I can't remember for sure. Oh, it was before Thanksgiving because she was going to have, that was her last meal, and she didn't deserve to have Thanksgiving. So it could have been this date. It could have been this date. Could have been the 21st. But she actually, because they were saying the chief said she doesn't deserve a Thanksgiving. So it was right before Thanksgiving. I'm going to shoot for, it was November 21st. Because it was also right about the time that they had confirmed his remains at Quantico.
So October 31st, what'd they do? Go pick her up from rehab and bring her in for questioning?
Yep. Well, I mean, they can meet her there. I doubt that they'd want to because it's not. I mean,
I'm just trying to, was that another?
She could have had a pass and gone to talk to them, and then they could have made sure she had transportation back into the center that she was in. It's possible. Is it Ebele? She needs a death penalty. I guess in Georgia that applies. We'll see if she gets it. My guess is they would be okay if she had life without the possibility of a parole. That's my hunch is what they're gonna agree to. So yeah, Greg, they could get a day pass. They could have just said, we need to take her out for 4 to 6 hours and talk to her, and we'll make sure she gets brought back.
I gotta look at the dates. I wouldn't give her. See, this is why God did not want me to be a DA or a lawyer because
Yeah, I know most people say, don't give her a deal. If you really go back and we look at her brother's situation, he agreed to a deal. So it's quite possible she could do the same. Yeah. So for him to get a lesser sentence, so it could be all in the family here, that she also tries to go for something where she gets a lesser sentence, which would be the life without parole versus getting the death penalty.
And then we just have to wait for her story to come out. Because then if she goes in and takes the plea deal, then there's no court.
Huh. I can tell you where she is right now. It's probably not as hard as where she will go to prison, but when she goes to prison and they know what her charges are, the inmates will not be kind to her.
Brittany,
So she's got a rough road ahead of her.
I have all of that written down upstairs. I just not going to go get it.
Yeah, I pray Zane didn't see any of it either. My guess is that Zane and the baby and Danny, if I'm really gonna be frank with y'all, they were asleep, and she was dealing with Quinton, and he could have been fussing. Let's go. I mean, he's almost 2, got the terrible twos. You know, he could have been tired, number of things, and she just lost herself. And there's no this isn't an insanity plea. She could go for it, but there's nothing here that screams to me that they're gonna go for believing that she was insane. So, but bless her heart, she might try. So, when does she go to prison? She's going to do everything. When she does go to prison, she's going to do everything to stay at the Gen Pop. Yeah, absolutely, Greg. I mean, I have dealt with some of the worst gang members that there are. You know, I was up by Folsom Prison, good old Folsom Prison, and they aren't very nice to the people that hurt their babies in there. And there's nothing I could say or do that was going to make any of the inmates that I had to deal with feel any better about that, because they knew what they were going in, what they're going to be facing in Gen Pop in prison. So,
Titanium, I'm not going to go to the one in January because that's just like a one day, like it'll be announced afterwards. So
yeah, it wouldn't be they wouldn't do the full trial yet. I think that we could be looking at February or March by the time that really gets going, because they've got to look at, you know, got to look at jurisdictional matters. They've got to get a jury that's going to be impartial. There's a lot of things that have to get into place, and they have to juggle it with the dockets that they already have for their cases right now. So my guess is that it could be February or March before a trial would get going. And I don't know that she's pled anything. This didn't say what she pled. This just said that the grand jury found her guilty of these things. Mm-hmm. So we need to understand what she's pleading, because the only thing that we heard was the initial lady talking when she was arrested, and the next day she waived her appearance, and that person said not guilty. But then they said they couldn't even hear the matter because they had jurisdictional issues, because she was on probation for other states, other counties. So this is really just shooting it back to Chatham County and starting the process now that I'm assuming everything in South Carolina is done.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that she will have to come back to North Carolina for additional charges, unless they do end up grouping them together, which they have time to do. So we may know more come January. Stuff may come out before, from the way that the DA talked today. Like they don't have a problem. They're not gonna, stand publicly and say it, but there are ways that you can get the information. And she told us exactly where to go and when to get it and how to get it. And she done it with a smirk on her face, and I was like, I see you. Yeah. I can see you, Caleb. So yeah. I'm interested in seeing what she will say in January, if she will take the plea deal or. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I am hoping that this does go to trial, because that would be the justice for him that we all believe he deserves, is to know what happened to him, and give him that dignity before he goes, when we really send him on to peace. Hold on, I gotta yell at a dog.
So,
but I've seen other cases where they try to plead insanity that gets continued and continued for evaluations, and we may have to wait for that, and we may have to see what happens.
So Cher commented on Queen Bee's live when Queen Bee
Uh-huh.
is going over the 8 pages. In the part where it says that she about the marijuana, Cher says Fent and Coke and Oxy.
No. But does, that's coming from Cher's mouth. We don't, and that's
Exactly.
coming from either BJ or BJ's sister or the friend or whoever that other mouthpiece is for them. Until we see a tox report, we don't know. But my suspicion was it's Coke, because she's somewhat functioning on that. Fentanyl could make her less functional, but it could be she's doing meth and maybe some oxy in there. I don't know. But we're all speculating, and really Cher is only speculating at this point because she only has hearsay herself, coming from BJ. So even coming from BJ, does BJ know everything now? I guarantee you what will come out in trial, BJ will even be surprised that she's hearing it.
Caleb, I am. What? Oh my goodness. I would message
Caleb,
either Caleb, message Wheezy or Foxfire about that.
yeah, because you're not blocked here, Caleb, but I don't know what happened over there. So you see Foxy or Wheezy, they can handle it for you. If you ladies can give Caleb an email to send that information to you.
Oh, movies.
Movies. I hope you had a wonderful social worker. Not everybody can say that. I just, there's
Yeah.
reasons that people that need workers, and I just wish that there were workers out there that just really saw the humanistic component to people that come before them. So that is how I always operated myself, and I can only pray that people could not be so harsh with people that were going through some of the worst times imaginable, and that were wanting the help, truly wanting the help to rehabilitate. So I hope you had a wonderful social worker. I hope it was a great outcome for you, and I thank you for saying that.
Um.
Ellen, they're going to blame Danny from here to
Yeah.
eternity. Really, they're never going to believe that um, it was solely Leilani, and
No,
she is truly the one to blame.
I think that they truly believe that it was Leilani. They just don't want to admit that they lied. So they got to stay with their
They
story.
got to stay with their narrative. Mm-hmm. Cotton candies in here.
It's not cotton candy boobs though.
Okay.
Different one.
Yes, Ellen. Correct, Ellen. So, that's where we are with all this. Just beware when you get your sources from another channel. I mean, you can always email Michelle and say, "This is what I heard. Can you give me?" Because I'd rather you guys not go down rabbit holes of, and this can get spun from every which way. Email Michelle. You can email me. You can go to my channel. My email's in there. If you really truly want to understand this, I'll break it down for you in an email. I have no problem doing that for you all. So I just rather you guys be informed, because going forward into this trial, it could get really messy, and that's not what we want for Quinton. We just want the facts to be known and get him the justice he deserves.
Ellen, me too. Like I mean,
Yeah, Dee, I don't. It's always baffled me how any mother or any father could do this to their child. I mean, these children are innocent, and
right.
they
And I
depend
do
on
want
us.
to,
So
like, if there's new people watching, if you've heard things on the streets or whatever. I know there's a new rumor going around that I stole the CPS records.
oh God.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say it
I
to you guys
I'm
once
gonna
again.
say this.
You can't get them. It's so under lock and key. And if somebody else is getting them, it ain't Michelle. because she doesn't want to get caught, number one. And number two, she wouldn't want that information because somebody who leaked it is going to be in really bad trouble. You cannot get any, if we could get juvenile jurisdictional matters known to us, we would know exactly today what Billy Joe was facing and why. It's that tight-lipped, you guys. So you're not going to know those records until you hear it through a trial or until it's been told by the parties themselves, because it does not get told by CPS. Federally, there's so many tight mandates on that information cannot get out from the agency itself and the agency representatives, social workers, division heads, supervisors. You just can't get it from them. So just know it's not coming from anywhere over here, because I've told Michelle that from the get-go. You're just not going to get it. So if you hear that about her, please do her a favor and tell somebody that that's just straight up bullshit. Sorry. I'm just going to call it what it is.
I don't know if they were referring to the old records that we have from the very beginning, and if, I mean,
that was
all
already
of my videos, that was out. I didn't steal them. I got them off of the internet, just
Michelle,
like everybody else did. And I did not show them until I had to, like, I had them for a while. We had discussed them, but we didn't put them on the screen. But it came to a point where somebody tried to say that I took their idea and called me out in my chat. So I had to show them that they were wrong.
Yeah.
But it was not me going and getting those. Like, I didn't get them illegally.
Yeah. So, are there any other questions you all might have for me before I sign off? I did not go live today, you guys, because I just had so much going on and it was super quiet, other than the sad announcement of DJ Twitch dying from Ellen, and then this happened. So then I told Michelle I'd rather just, instead of double doing it here, we just might as well go on her channel and go through this all together. But if there's any other questions you have, I'll be happy to answer, or you guys can email me or Michelle or whatever, and we'll get you that info.
Yep. I think, you guys, I've been looking for my next case, and you guys know I have to, like, fill some kind of attachment to it. And so far there's not been one that just, like, I mean, I've got several, but there's just not been one that just, like, has grabbed a hold of me and is pulling me. There is one that I'm looking into now, and looking into the connections of it. It is, what is the last name? Oh, it's Emily Dubes, and I'm looking into it. She's been missing since December 4th, and she left home without her phone and jacket. She's 15. So I'm looking into this. This happened in Ashland, Missouri.
Yeah, Dee, the rumors these days are wild out there. So just always know there's places to fact check things, you guys. And, you know, as we've seen this week, there's some people that do falsify audio for clicks and views. So there's no harm in just asking us if we've come across anything that could corroborate something either way. Oh, good night, Ellen.
Yep. So I think, what's your channel? Oh, hers is Seriously Kristen.
Weezy can put that link in there if you'd like it.
Yeah. And I think that we are going to end it on a good note. I will see you guys, not tomorrow, because I get to go see Maisie tomorrow. So,
Yay. Yes, let's
it's
pray
good.
and good vibes for Michelle and Maisie tomorrow as they enjoy their time together.
So, there's Kristen's link. I will see you guys very soon. I will try to schedule it. I don't know. This weekend's going to be kind of hectic too. But we'll see. And I love you guys. I will see y'all all soon.
Good night.
Kristen, stay for a moment.
Okay.